I'm sure you've heard the niche conversation before. At the end of this video, you'll understand how and why you need to choose a niche as a videographer. There was a time where I didn't want to choose a niche. The first thing I did was a wedding, and it stressed me out, not gonna lie to you. After I did the wedding, I did an event, and after that event, I did a few more events like it. I wanted to be able to do everything because people loved my work. Ryan, you're so good. Can you shoot courses? Yup. Wow, that's awesome. Do you do brand stories? I didn't know what a brand story was. Yep. I was doing all kinds of stuff. But if you looked at all the payments I was getting in, most of them were between $500 and $1,000 per project. Anyway, one of my mentors told me that I needed to choose a niche, and I tried to be smart about it. I realized that a lot of the people that I worked with were business owners, so I was like, yeah, I work with businesses. But I was still doing all of these things. And it wasn't until I hired someone to help me create SOPs and systems for my business that I realized that I didn't have a niche. I was still just doing everything. And then I met someone else that was making more money than I was, but he was working way less. He was chilling. That helped me understand that choosing a niche makes more money because it creates exclusivity. And let me explain how that works. Right now, the average videographer makes around $933 per project, but they don't have to. The industry is like $161 billion. There's around 500,000 videographers in the world. If all the money in the market was split out evenly, each videographer would make around $240,000 a year. That averages out to about $4,000 to $5,000 per project for a videographer, assuming that the videographer does about 60 projects a year. What's keeping us from being able to make that amount of money versus $933 per project? Clients need people who understand where they're going. They no longer want to pay for content that doesn't do work. The people that you're trying to work with have a niche, and if your niche doesn't fit inside of theirs, then you're not going to understand how to help them. That understanding only comes from focusing on one thing. It's like how being a wedding videographer, they bring a hanger, they know about the first look, all of that stuff. The first time I did a wedding, I knew about some of that stuff, but I just had generic equipment that I bought because I was trying to be a filmmaker. Anyway, people that have a niche, they look for other people that can help them within their niche. And not a lot of people can help them at all, which means that there's low competition. So let me get down to how to choose your niche. Like I said before, it's a $161 billion industry. Whatever niche you choose, you can make $1 million in it because most people are not going to follow this advice and they're going to keep making lower than they're supposed to make. Here's the way that I found my niche. Now, some people are going to tell you to just pick it, which you could because you can make money in any of it. The way that I found it was actually by finding a person that I really love to work with. I remember getting a call last minute on a Sunday. The other videographer had canceled on them to take another gig. I don't know why they would do that, but that's what they did. They paid immediately, which I love. I went up there, started shooting. Afterwards, they called me back again. And what I loved about working with them is that they were very transactional. They didn't play around and waste time while we were on set. I love that. They were also a coach. I love working with coaches. Before I met them, I was already kind of niched, but afterwards they helped me dial in even more, which leads me to my next point. You might change or shift your niche. That's not something you're going to pick and it's what you got to do for the rest of your life. Sometimes you're going to decide, oh, maybe I need to go a little more broad. Some people choose to pivot from their niche based on how much money they're making or how well they're doing. There's enough money in any niche for you to make more money than you ever need to make. All the people that I get a chance to work with, I believe in what they're doing. It aligns with my core values. I like them and they pay what we charge. So that's my niche. The point is you can choose something based on people that you love working with instead of trying to just come up out of thin air with something that you'll like, because you don't know what you like until you like it. So here's some questions to ask yourself about that person that you want to build your niche around. What is their occupation? What do they do? What do they believe in? What are their goals? The next thing you want to ask yourself is, what do they want out of business? What is their ambition? What are they trying to reach? If you're dealing with someone who's got a huge vision, that might be a long-term working relationship. However, if you're working with someone that's looking for clout, that might not be the person that will work with you long term. They just need you for a little while. Don't overcomplicate choosing a niche. Make a list of the people that you love working with the most and then start there. Find your niche in that person. See y'all next time.